Hi, this is Denye Robbins, and we're here at Journeys for Conscious Living in Arvada, Colorado. And you know, we're always talking to people that are up to something in consciousness as far as healing, transformation, or making a huge contribution to the collective. And today we're blessed, really lucky to be hanging out with Martin Hahn. He's from Setting Hearts Free. And I'm going to ask him, from your heart, what is your contribution to the collective?
Well, let me start off just by kind of going through a little bit of how I got onto this path to begin with. I think that's a good place to start. Back 10, 12 years ago, I went through a process called an illumination intensive. And it's a process that's designed to allow people to really get through the core of the truth of who they are just by simply continuing to reconnect with their heart and being able to and willing to actually share the truth of whatever's going on within their own beingness, whether that's emotional, mental, physical, whatever it is, getting that across to the partner that they're working with, and then just having it fully received. And what I witnessed in that particular process throughout the weekend is the transformation that took place just for people to have that space to walk into and just to let go of all of their shells and barriers. It allowed them to really walk through into the depth of their own beingness and realize who they are, what they actually are, what another is, what life is. And you can take this process, and what they've actually done for the last 40 years is they've perfected it to the point where you can actually have a direct or an illumination experience or an enlightenment experience in a weekend. That's how powerful this process was, and I went through the whole thing, and I went through it. I'm still going through it. I go through it once a year myself. It allows me to clear out all of the clutter that gets consolidated in my mind, all of the things that I take on that aren't being processed properly, and I just clear it all out. I go through it once a year. And it allows me to get the clarity to be focused on what it is that I know that I need to do, rather than getting caught up in distractions and other opportunities that may arise. I'm just really focused and clear. And the biggest thing for me has been just letting go of all of the old baggage that I tended to carry around with me that wasn't serving me anymore. And the process changed my life, so I've just continued that on now, and I offer the space to people just to come into, if they're willing to really discover the truth of who they are, and leave it behind, and be willing to just open fully into their own greatness, which is really what it's all about. It's just letting go.
That's so awesome. So if somebody was listening to you and I chatting right now, and they were in resonance with your message or with you, or sort of the vibration or the field of energy which you're letting off right now into the camera, where would they go to find out how to explore more or take their next step forward with you?
Well, the simplest thing then it would be just to go to www.settingheartsfree.com.
Mm-hmm.
There's an initial page that you get to the home landing page. There is also at the bottom, you'll see there's a link to, it's called The Opening, is what I call the event.
Mm-hmm.
And the neat thing about it is that what we've done that's a little bit different from most other companies is that, you know, people used to charge, it's a 5-day event, they used to charge anywhere from $800 to $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to pay for food and accommodation. The thing about this particular event is that it's residential.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the space that you're walking into and, you know, the openness that's created with people don't realize how out of this norm that they're actually getting over the 3 days, because it's such a gradual thing. You can't operate a motor vehicle during the 3 days. So we've had to actually make it residential. I don't know, there's been a few of the people that you know in this community have been through that, and Robbie's got his hand up behind the camera going, I'll hop in there. So it's just, we've had to make it residential. So what I ask people to do is I ask them to pay for the food and accommodation and logistics, but I charge absolutely no tuition.
Wow.
It allows me to cover my expenses, and then at the end of the 5 days, I ask people, you know, based on the value that you feel that you've received, and all of the benefits that you've gotten out of this that you're now able to take into your life and integrate, you decide how much you want to contribute to allow us to continue doing what we do.
Well, that sounds like a whole new model in this new paradigm. What a blessing you are. Thank you so much for being you and for your contribution back to the collective.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.